Nuggets versus the Oklahoma City Thunder was just a couple minutes away from seeing that they ended up advancing to play the Thunder, and now we have a series that should be very tough and very hard, just like the other one. For the Nuggets, this one is going to be a different test, as is some similarities that the Thunder like to use their guard play and their wing play a lot to put the ball in the basket and defend. And they do have some bigs like Hardenstein that they can throw at Jokic and make things tough and difficult, and they can cover space and they can rebound and protect the rim. And it's going to be another test to see, can Denver score enough points, and can they make enough shots? Can they make enough threes consistently? And can they handle the ball and put the ball in the basket? Those are going to be the big keys in this series to see if Denver can pull off the upset and beat the number one seed, Oklahoma City Thunder. But when it comes to the Thunder, they won 68 games for a reason. And Alex Caruso showed that he can be a good player in this series too, because he can stay in front of Jamal Murray. He can make things difficult for him and Christian Braun. But you can say the same thing about Luguentz Dort, who's also a big, strong body that can knock down the three, space the floor, keep the ball moving when he has to, push the ball too when he has the ball, and also defend guards and wings at a high level and make things tough and force mistakes and uncomfortability in their shot selection, and that can play into your hand and allow you to blow a team out or get advantages that you create for yourself just by playing good disciplined defense, which Caruso and Luguentz Dort does. Another guy, obviously, is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the face of the franchise, the guy that's going to come at you each and every possession to try to score from the paint, trying to score from the mid range. He also can stop and pop and pull up from three. You elect him to take that shot, but he's not going to always settle for that. And he has good handles and can get where he wants to on the court, which we all know. And I don't see that being the difference in this series because he can do that against everybody. And it's going to be tough for the Denver Nuggets to stay in front of him and make things difficult because he's just that good of a scorer. And he can make things very difficult on your defense because a guy like Isaiah Hartenstein, not only, like I said, is he going to rebound and play good defense, he can also hit that floater or get a dunk just because you have to guard Shai a certain way. And if you don't guard him a certain way, you actually got to watch out for Chet Holmgren, who can get that ball and get a lob or a dunk too, but he also can make a three or a mid-range too, or he can back the ball down and try to hit a push shot. And he showed that he can do those things at a high efficient level. So I don't really think that that's going to change. Plus, Denver don't really have a bunch of guys that's going to really make them fear the paint or fear scoring in the paint because Jokic is not known as a rim protector, and neither is nobody on their roster. You can say DeAndre Jordan, but he's not that anymore. So I think that favors and works in the hands of the Oklahoma City Thunder also. Isaiah Joe and Aaron Wiggins, those are going to be guys that are going to come off the bench and just give them activity. They're going to try to rebound. They're going to try to keep the ball moving. They're going to try to push it. They're going to make shots on the perimeter. They're going to try to turn you over and create turnovers like the other guys, Luguentz Dort and Alex Caruso. And it does work because it has been showing even last year, even this year, that those guys are very, very great coming off the bench. But you can say also the same thing about Cason Wallace. He's a guy that's big and strong, and he can knock down perimeter shots, and he can also play defense. And the guy that we all want to see what he's going to do this round is Jalen Williams. He was an all-star this season. He showed up in the first round. I think he's going to have to do that again, obviously, because he's one of their better players, and they rely on his scoring and his ball creation ability. If he's able to get to the paint, if he's able to get to that stop, pop, jump shot, or that pull-up three when it's needed, then they're going to be on a tear against the Denver Nuggets, who have shown that they can be clicking and they can beat anybody, but they also can be their own worst enemy sometimes, depending on their shot selection and depending on what Jokic can do and what he can't do. So obviously, if you're a Thunder fan, your focus should be all in on Jokic, slow him down, try to take him out the game, try to show him as many coverage and as many bodies as you can, and just try to find a way to rotate or communicate to get back to the shooters so that way they don't beat you off the dribble or shoot a three. It's easier said than done, but they have the switchability, they have the youth, they have the size, they have the length to be able to do that, and that gives them a huge advantage going into this series against Denver. Jalen Williams, the other one, he's not going to play a ton of minutes. He's going to set screens. He's going to space the floor. That can help them depending on who's out there with them. Kenrich Williams, I don't know how much he's going to play, but they like him too. He might play some games if it's a blowout. He might not play at all too, because they have shown that they're going to shorten the rotation a little bit already in the playoffs. So we know the guys that's really going to play and get a big, boost in this series, popularity wise, if they're able to beat Denver and go to the conference finals, and that's their goal, and that's what they're going to be trying to do. But like I said, the bigs are really important, just like Shai. If they can rebound and protect the rim or make it physical and make it hard for Jokic and stay in the game for majority of it, then it's just going to be OKC trying to find a way to blow them out as fast as they can and then close out the game. But it's not going to be easy like the Denver Nuggets show. You can blow us out. We can blow y'all out if y'all don't do the things right. And if y'all don't, you got guys like Christian Braun that can hit open threes and get to the basket and finish and get out in transition and be a blur. You got Aaron Gordon that can make a three. He can get to the paint, get a dunk. He can also handle the ball a little bit from time to time and create his own shot, depending on the matchup. And you also got Nikola Jokic, who is probably still the best player in the world. This will probably decide who's the best player in the world, because some people think it's Shai, some people think it's Jokic, some people thought the MVP was Shai. We get to see who's the real MVP, because that's what the playoffs is all about, beating the best competition and showing that you're better. And we're going to see, is Shai going to dominate more or is Jokic going to dominate more? The Clippers show some things that you can do to cover Jokic and have success and make him not as much of a factor. But if you do those things, who are going to be the guys that step up? And those are going to be different from game to game. But Jokic is a guy that's going to slow down the game and get high percentage shots for himself and for his teammates, and that's his goal and that's his job, besides being an elite rebounder and a guy that can space the floor too, so the other guys can operate and do other things offensively, while he just sits there and tries to find a way to put the ball in the basket. If things go to hell and they get it late in the shot clock, they can still throw it to him and get a decent shot at the rim. Other than that, Jamal Murray, he's going to have to play better. He's always going to show you he can get 18 to 25 points easily, but he might need other games to get more than that. He showed that in the Clipper game. They need him to step up huge, and he was able to do it. He always has great playoffs, and he's going to have to continue that if they want to even stand a chance to beat the Thunder this year. And he's capable of it. Let's not act like he ain't. He showed that, throughout his entire career, that he can do it, but he's definitely going to have some trouble with the defenders that the Thunder can throw at him throughout the entire series. And then they can also stay fresh while he has to work for every shot and every bucket. Is he going to be down for that? Is he going to be ready for that? We're going to have to see. But we do know that he is a tough cover because he's a big, strong guard with good shooting touch. Michael Porter Jr., he hasn't been as healthy as he needed to be, but he can shoot that three, and he can rebound. He can get to the paint and finish too, and he can play off the ball real well, and he's going to have to continue doing that. Obviously, Zeke Naji going to get some minutes, 5 to 10 to 12 here and there, depending on how the game is going, depending on how the series is going, and it's going to be much needed when he can. They liking Jaden Pickett a lot more. We're going to see if he's going to play mostly in garbage time, though. Same with Julian Strawther. I don't see him playing minutes in a close game. You can say the same thing about Hurton Tyson and Peyton Watson, but the one that will play the most is Russell Westbrook. Will he be able to get revenge on OKC for fun and go out there and try to show them that I'm still good enough to help this team beat y'all because I'm on a great team too? And he can pass, he can rebound, he can finish, he can shoot threes a little bit, but he's capable of turning the ball over and having bad defensive lapses. Will that affect them enough, or will he play enough, or will it be bad enough for them to lose a game because of that? We've seen it in the regular season. We don't really want that to happen if you're the Denver Nuggets in the postseason, but he's capable of doing the good and bad to the team. So they just got to live with the result, and hopefully they don't have to take too much bad in this series, because, man, the Thunder defense is just so swarming and it's just so chaotic. And it's just so crazy how they can do all those things, reaching and blocking and stealing and disrupting and intercepting without even fouling. at a high level. But this is something that they always been able to do since they've been intact, and now they can just do it at a higher level. And I think that that's a fun thing to even see or even want to watch. And that's why I think this is going to be a good series. But I'm looking at it like, well, Thunder had trouble with the Grizzlies 2 games, which was game 3 and 4. And then we also seen the Denver Nuggets have trouble with the Clippers. That's why it went 7. So I think that these two teams do have interesting ways to attack each other, interesting ways how they're going to play against each other on both ends of the court. I think OKC just has more that they can do defensively and offensively to be able to expose what they need to be able to beat the Denver Nuggets. I think the Thunder is going to win this series in 6. I think that the Denver Nuggets is going to find out ways to play against them, ways to keep the game close, and just force Shea to step up, force Jalen Williams to step up and make shots. But they also going to say, well, we got Jamal Murray and Jokic. We can do that pick and roll. We can also let Russell Westbrook handle the ball a little bit and add some more speed and burst to the game. And we also can just let our other guys just be ready to be in their spots and be ready to shoot or score all throughout the game the way that we need them to be able to stick with the Thunder. The Thunder shows some weak, vulnerable spots, against Memphis. You just got to find ways to make the best out of that 24-second shot clock that you got and just go out there and get the best shot you can get. And if there's any team that can do that, it'd be the Denver Nuggets. Because that's all they do. They hold that ball as much as they can and get the best value possession that they can. And that's why they have been a tough team to beat. While you're working for your buckets, we're getting the best shots that you can get, which is open threes, dunks, or a high percentage shot by Jokic or Murray. So they have a system, and they have a way that they approach the game. They have a way that they play the game that you can see that they're going to be a tough team to beat. But when it comes down to it, the Thunder just have way too many things they can do on with big men, the dunks, the threes. They don't have nobody that can slow down Shea. They have a better bench when it comes to having youth and explosion and guys that can impact the game. I'm just going to say the Thunder are the better team. They have to go out there and dominate and prove it. They showed that in the first series. They're going to have to try to find a way to do it in the second series. This one should be tougher, but as long as they win and they do it in some dominant fashion throughout the series, that's all they really have to do to show that they're the best team. And we'll see if they're able to do it. But I think that's going to be OKC in 6. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell for more analysis. And if you're new to the channel, I do conversation video just like this and various NBA only topics. Also do breakdowns with real footage of legends, current legends, rookies, and also future stars. Also do mock drafts and draft coverage. So you love that type of stuff. I got over 3,000 plus videos already on my channel that you can watch and you can enjoy already. Plus I upload every single day that I'm living and I'm watching basketball. So it gives you something to always see and be able to watch, which is a good thing and amazing thing to have, because that's what most people on YouTube for anyway. Other than that, I got my social medias on my channel. Y'all can check those out if you want to see some other things I like to do without NBA only content. Not only that, I also have my email if you want to message me, not on social media or in the comment section. You can use it for that. Other than that, hope you guys enjoying the weekend. Hope you guys enjoying y'all day. Hope you guys are having a blessed weekend and had a good work week. Hopefully you guys are surviving the right way too and having fun and getting your rest and going out there and doing your thing. Other than that, I'm glad to be able to make content for y'all. Let's continue to try to make 2025 better than 2015. We going strong the first 4 months already. Let's try to do it the 5th month and for the rest of the year if Lord will it. Other than that, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for supporting the channel from start to finish and still to this day. And thank y'all for appreciating the content for what it is. Love y'all. Enjoy making content for y'all and the next fans that I might get. And other than that, I'll see you guys later. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with more analysis, hopefully. And I'm going for now. Peace. Y'all stay blessed up.